as well. Get the difficult one done early doors and trying to fight, brawl in towards A lobby. Boaster the one leading the charge, and he's got 3!
Boaster really getting involved with a lot of the duels on their attack side last time for Fnatic, but immediately setting the tempo, and KC fully crunched.
Yeah, Alpha here on the flag. Both players not looking. Sugetsu turns, flicks Alpha's head, also the spike. To look for a way towards one of the sites.
A inclined as it stands, but back into 3 players on the Fnatic side, and only going to get 1 in the end. So a strong start for the... About a recommitment towards the mid space, but Sugetsu is holding on to it. And a real advantage for KC now, a 5 versus 3. 2 players to the good, but still a lot of ground to cover to get towards C, which does remain the negative space. Fnatic starting to move over themselves.
Yeah, this gun round has been Fnatic being proactive, taking things into their own terms, but KC being able to defend that. Time getting low, and KC need to make a move. It's going to be the C site where Boaster is, and there's a couple of players very close by.
I think Crashies has spotted this as well, so Boaster teeing up the blind side, gets the first of the kills off the back of the paranoia, and Crashies right behind it. 10 seconds. Spike only now going in, and the flank has been detected. Kron on the scene. KC starting to fight towards defender spawn.
Yeah, there's also a dart that Crashies can use to set up Kron as well, if he can get into position in time.
From behind this Viper wall, it does feel like a good opportunity to split the post plant that is currently sat on site, but Sadak from the corner, resolute with the rifle in hand now. Kron has work to do to try and at least create a bit of damage here, but it's going to be too much to ask of him. And KC get from this position. KC completely stalled out, and with Kayak on the angle, it's Martin to win the fight. Has his number this time. Kron still playing behind the cloud. Break of the dart and make this crossing. Safe passage backside. Martin to try and open up the play. Has he been left unconsidered? It seems to be the case for Martin. Does crack the whip and collect his 4th. Kron finished off.
I just felt like, I don't know, there was a lot more to be desired when it came to his performances.
30 seconds left.
The round's still at play, and while the clock is running down, it isn't Fnatic on the attack. KC have taken their time, but assessed the options and found the A site. All 3 players here on the defense, but still Sheriff's in hand. Thing getting low. The edge of the smoke, Boaster finally reveals his position. Flood out covered. Alve involved, has the dimensional drift, but the sewers locked down from Alpha forces players towards Garage. Big fight about to go down with the ult now in play.
Still a trap there for KC to get that extra information if needed, and they're trying to explore elsewhere. KC get 1 back, make that 2, make that 3, and it's Pyro to do it. Torn out of Garage, trying to make his way through, but you look at the position of the last 2 players, there's no way that Kron should have.
As they go knocking on the door of Garage, it's a reposition from Fnatic, now ready to receive the B execution.
Crashies a little bit more hesitant to move any further forward. He's the weak side of this hold, and Boaster at the same time gets caught out towards the left side of B main. The players making their way towards A get denied by Crashies, but that spike will be going down, or will it? That's a big Hunter's Fury, and manages to get 1. That's Fnatic, 3 to the good.
Martin with 4 players to get past. He's found his first.
Yeah, you know he's good for it, but he isn't good for any more. Fnatic answer.
Placing swamp grenade.
It is though. Towards Garage, and Sadak all on his own with no possibility of being traded gets caught out.
One of the times you do see the 4-1. Now into Garage.
That Blaze Wall's doing so much. The alarm bot can't see the players walking through. One gets picked up. Boaster though, looking for a quick trade.
Drop down, but Sugetsu expects it. Knows Boaster's tricks well. KC and Fnatic more than familiar in the round for Fnatic to start reacting themselves, moving more players, more bodies towards this site.
The timing's insane. Boaster doesn't know, and he's been found by Martin. That should allow the spike to make its way on towards site. There's a little bit of a gap in timing to allow the spike down easy enough. But where does KC go with a post plant on the front foot?
Still 2 flashes left here for KC. One of them used by Martin to take that aggressive fight. Sugetsu notes the flank. They should be looking towards defender spawn now.
Timing, the delay, it's going to not work in Fnatic's favour. They want all three players here, and with Alpha so far away, it's going to allow Martin to play in the smoke. Two apiece, more utility being sent forward, and that smoke going allows Alpha the next kill. Sugetsu now needs to clutch up a clean headshot, leaves him in a 1 versus 1 against Alpha. The spike looking to be halved, but Sugetsu looking to try and find the next fight, but it goes Alpha's way.
It's not good. Mike's still not yet planted in the pit to recover.
Finally it will be. And yeah, as you said, Viper's Pit deposited straight away and one back towards Fnatic.
Plant in though. KC will just be looking for spam. Crashies can alleviate all of this pressure.
He can and does. Big pick. Now the player's distracted in B, and Crashies knows about Sugetsu trying to flank him. He's doing this all by himself and calling for players to get on the spike, but Aves is denying it.
No half.
It's not, but finally it will be. And now the players looking at Fnatic to find the picks, which they will. But is there enough time for Crashies to finish this out?
Just about. He's going to be able to get it over the line, and Fnatic will find another round.
Yeah, that it is. Spike down and straight into a post plant. Very early doors. Fnatic now have to pick up, and where do they go for this retake? It seems as if bodies are committed mostly towards the seaside.
Aves doubling down though with this run it back. Alfia's going to spot him and chalk off a lot of the HP. Molly at the feet, sets up Sadak, converts. Defuse still not yet worked on, but finally Fnatic have to get their hands busy. Kayak flooding out to create some of this space. There's no second layer, no flank this time. They're fully reliant on being able to dissuade the players that face them down. Aves new lease of life back out of the ult. Another kill for him, and numbers in their favor until Crashies steps on the scene again. 3 kills from him, but it still might not suffice. A smoke post-mortem boaster, but it's pie. This half is yet not completed, and Chronicles already found the first of those kills. Kayak fighting from sight. Casey trying to retake this space, and Aves doing a brilliant job, but the backline has been compromised.
It has, and there's Alpha with a rifle here. The players now trying to search towards CT. Aves being the sole player to do so. It's not really finding much.
Take this full 9 yards. Aves gets caught, and now it is on Sadak. The captain to clutch it. Has a path to walk towards A, but locks eyes with Boaster. There is no way back for him now. Alpha closing the net. Sadak boxed in, running for his life, but no saviour.
Fire up, A long.
It's a long rotation here for KC.
Yeah, and Pyro found the players squirming out, manages to escape, can't quite get the pick, but Martin still holds on towards shot, and Kayak has set his sights on finding him, and does. That should allow the spike to go down. Fnatic looking for extra information on the last two.
The King of Pistol won't be outdone here. And with numbers on Fnatic's side, they've set up post, but still thinking about a potential flank with how long Martin was able to hold it down in sewers.
Yeah, there's absolutely no utility really that KC can use. Perhaps waiting for Sugetsu's smoke to chain their way out.
Looking for the contact on Kayak here.
Yeah, and well, Kron playing off him as well, trying to clear the corners and does so. This gets worrying because now it leaves Crashies against Sugetsu, but time getting low, and that's all Crashies needs to play with. Just deny Sugetsu.
Push in with his trap, but Martin fakes the TP. He's committed to long.
Yeah, he's tried to commit to the fight, and it's Fnatic that's won every single one. A site opened, spike can go down, and even enough time for Crashies to pick up an extra orb.
So it looks like Carmine Core will reconsider here and not put any further effort in trying to change the round outcome. It has been settled. Fnatic finding 8 and moving in front in this map. AC stronghold on A. The blue wall built yet again, but cannot crumble if the road to Paris is to be a success. Trailing now in this game. Crashies opens things up from Graffiti. Aves getting sprayed with bullets, but it's Pyro at the double again. Their savior stepping up. Boaster low has to respect the wall. There's no time for the plant to come in. KC have stood their ground and stood its success. They're heading towards B now. We've reached the 15-second mark. Still not yet made any progress onto the neck of the site itself. Martin with the first of the kills, and you're expecting more from KC. You're gonna get it. Martin on for a hat trick. and he'll manage to pick up all three of them. The spike has gone down in the meantime, but there's nothing left to be saved. Issue, Ava's still flanking though.
Yeah, but the space that Fnatic have found at the same time, as Crashies looks to stand up to the flank, it doesn't work out, and now the front two players, or at least the front one of Poster, tries to find something back, and it doesn't work.
See, coming out of the timeout, looking rejuvenated.
How long does that TP last for?
So we're here to find out. Martin has been gutted. Crashies to collect him. Fnatic backpedaling. This paranoia to reinforce the space, still not committed.
30 seconds
But
left.
time getting low, and you know Fnatic need to commit to the C site.
Find lines of defensive cover, dark cover. Sugetsu in the corner, still yet to be cleared. Time ticking down. Boaster has the ult, repositions A, clean from Chronicle to remove Pyro. And then we'll get the plant in 5 versus 2. A save call perhaps for Armin Core now.
I don't know if that cam got destroyed there in the end, and it seems if the ultimates are going to come through, I'll run it back in an overdrive, but Spike denied.
Ollie kill. Ava's looking for more, denied it, but it's on the opposite side. Fnatic have to retrieve it with no time again.
Yeah, in no man's land, need to brawl their way through the site, and it's not going to work. It's a choke point that KC are using, turning this into a meat grinder, and it's most
yet to take up the C space.
Yeah, but is this what KC want? Is this the plan for the round? Sadak maybe stepping a bit too far, allows to get the entry, an indirect trade on towards Crashies, and an extra ping onto Alpha.
Pyro has been very good with his Sova ult so far. A flexible player stepping into the lineup, and part of this flood now backside.
Oh, Kayak at the back of side, looking to hold up himself, but can't quite do it. This is turning into a death match of a round.
The spike is heading elsewhere. Fnatic want nothing more to do with C as it stands. Kron has the pit, a molly. Boaster a paranoia. There is a stockpile of utility. These last few final pieces that could stave off KC. The Pyro has the drone, and that is the natural counter to clearing this space. It needs big value.
And it does. Boaster's not there to destroy it, it's just Kron, which means that he takes a step out of the pit. Boaster watching for the heaven drop, but there's a time in there for KC to work with.
Still not managing to get into the pit right now, walking around the side, dropping from the heavens instead, and Pyro is heaven sent. A triple kill on the round from KC's new player! But from left field! At this point, and the support is a little late to arrive. Has to win the first fight and does.
He does, and there's more utility to come through, but that neural theft is massive for information.
Second reveal, hat off his head. Sadak letting it rip. Now KC in a position where they do feel yet again inclined to take 12 rounds. The setback only temporary. But Fnatic with the players to still create problems. You have to be thinking about Alpha here.
He's the big one, the one to unlock the site. Sadak. Oh, and Pyro in the corner allows Fnatic into the site potentially.
And now we need another big Martin moment.
30 seconds left.
30-second mark now crossed. Spike still committed, and all 3 players on the KC side here.
As Graffiti needs to be cleaned, that's where a double stack of KC deposits are.
For the execution as it comes in, Martin has his, but this time they do create a little bit of breathing room for themselves. Boaster towards backside, but it's the back line that you've got to be looking at, and Sadak has already given numbers.
Oh, Vez up against Alpha, yeah, and it's Alpha to win it out. Sadak looking for something to go his way. The buy's still in favour of KC, even though Fnatic have a player advantage. But the set piece to set up Kayak and deny KC the round is there, as every single player will draw.
It's the lockdown long instead. Can't fully push KC off site.
But Martinez went searching and found a whole load of danger. And on top of that, Hunter's Fury to deny anybody getting into sight, and Boaster at the same time cuts off the rotates. It's looking worse and worse for KC.
One player less to consider though on the site as Boaster is removed. Crashy the same in main. Effective 3-on-3 if they challenge it, but KC slow on the uptake.
Yeah, that they are, but there's delay to come through. But Pyro at the same time finds Alpha here. From where? A brilliant spam, but Crashes at the same time finds that Sova. Time ticking away, and KC need to get a move on. If they're to deny overtime.
Inserting himself in the corner, Molly at the feet of Abba's decision to be made. He sits around for long enough to collect it, but there's no second swing. Oh, it finally comes in delayed from Boaster. Schoolboy, it would seem, shut down, and now numbers KC.
They know exactly what they need to do to hit in towards this site, but Alpha
30 seconds left.
Looking for information, maybe even a pick to get back in towards Fnatic's favour as they are a player down.
In the meantime, having Kayak on the other side of the map, collecting all of that information, it has enabled the stack, and still Alpha goes down. No synergy between the remaining members. Has to be the Crashy show. Needs to see his name in lights, but put out in the dark by Martin.
4 against 1. A Kayak clutch, a glass cannon up, and a run it back heading his way.
Make it a 5th, but he's found the first of them. Wallbang is ambitious.
Mid themselves, a timing, and Alpha are up close against the Vez, and he tries to take him out and will do so. A big one to find, but KC still find Boaster.
Sadak has a decision to make. Does he want to play on site or drop off? Looks like he's gonna stick it as long as possible, and the trap's done its job. Alpha closing the distance. Quick trade.
There it is, and garage control important because there is no smokes and there is no players left on C. Alpha caught out trying to escape. Brings us back to a 2-on-2.
Pyro with Martin. So many big clutches between the two of them, and now they're 2-on-2. Kron and Crashies.
Yeah, I mean there's so much initiation to try and get out of garage, but that utility could be the run. Oh! But instead it's Martin, and he'll win out. Map 1 for KC.
We've been waiting to see Martin make his return to the top of 4.
Spam trying to come through from the Sheriffs. Boaster though manages to escape with his life and get that spike down, but Crashies pushing towards CT. And he also has the support of Alpha's Vice.
That's been detected, and Alpha up in heaven does get taken out by Pyro.
And that it does. Crashies though still holding on towards CT, the lone player here, and he's finally routed out. Boaster pushing forward, but it doesn't work out in his favour. Neither does the post plan. It's KC.
Side of this Omen smoke. So the one we saw Sociable using, but it's Martin with a smoking gun. The Bulldog collecting 2. No stranger to the controller role. We've seen him on an Omen before, but this Brim right in their face is such a problem right now as the bonus goes from strength to strength.
Still continuing on. Fnatic through B main. Sure there's delay coming through, but that flash is absolutely perfect. And Kayak can't go any further. Fnatic are having real problems with trying to get out of these mains.
Oh, and Sugetsu there even finding the next kill. This could very well end flawlessly. Boaster has work to do. He's not even going to...
Yeah, I'm wondering how this composition that KC has is going to do on the attack side. Like, because when we look at it on the defender side, I mean, yeah, sure, it's going to thrive. I mean, you've got a Brimstone, for God's sake. That is so much delay.
Standard procedure right now in shutting Fnatic out of the mid space, an area of the map we'll constantly have to pay close attention to.
Bring them down.
They did really struggle when BBL were getting these deep inserts at the bottom of mid. Hard players to clear. Althea through Link has been considered. Sugetsu's watching this.
Last player standing.
And it's dealt with it well. So Crashies on his loans
to reinvestigate these mains. Spread themselves a little thin.
And just not winning any fight whatsoever. The re-engage, the utility, they're being pushed back at every point, but there is an opening. And that opening is the B site. Martin notes the players coming out of there, and that is where the spike is, and Crashies all alone. get taken out. So a 2 versus 5 to try and clutch from for Fnatic.
Plenty of ground still to be covered, but Fnatic have both controllers up. They can put a wall of smoke in front of KC, but ultimately need some kind of tangible advantage, and that's where they begin to hunt through elbow.
Scanning ahead.
Still taking their time to come back in. Don't want to get taken off guard by the last 2 players, but they will do. And that's the main part of the forces. There's even a molly to take anyone off the spike. Cosmic Divide put in, but it's Chronicle! No, but KC aware of this, and they'll get the first player coming out of like.
Yeah, the vines were broken as well though, and KC have consolidated their position with the Brimmo.
Well, more delay, 20 seconds left. Spike needs to go down. Fnatic need to unlock this site, but they are locked out without a key.
Ooh.
But unless Crashes is able to buy this round, the other 2 players for Carmine Core are nowhere near the A site.
Crashes to see if he could do. His teammates couldn't. It would be back-to-back clutches for Fnatic. He's had time to set this up. No info yet on the 2 retaking defenders though from KC.
Crashes distracted by CT. Oh, switches up. That paranoia is huge. It's hit Crashes spot on. No lines of sight.
Getsu! Oh, the gun barrel!
No way!
It's completely done a disservice! And so that is the route to B now open.
Well, KC, they need to try and re-clear through CT, and Kron is ready for the next fight.
Take it on the chin. Lick of damage, trying to run, but the sideline opens up. And with Alves finding that,
30 seconds left.
his numbers back
Planted.
to KC's favor.
Crashes next up. Look.
Clearing utility to try and find him here as Crashes forward position has found 2 heads. The dome piece removed and now it's on to Boaster. Crashes has done his best. Can Boaster stand up and complete the task? Of course he can. K-Safeguard for it. Vct has a timing and wins it, that's huge. KC into another retake with numbers.
And the Hunter's Fury hasn't hit. It's only delayed the spike a little bit.
Spike planted.
Pick up. Very slow from the French side.
Facing up on 2 players. We've seen so many spray downs so far this map.
We have, but won't get the opportunity this time. Still waiting to play in Vct, and he's really taking his time. And Kayak knows, because of the information that Boaster gave him earlier, the paranoia not hitting, but the spike no longer in Fnatic's control. The Carmine Core players are on top of it, but time is getting low, and you know the players need to start to get to work to get this one done. Crashes, knows that the spike's being worked on, but with Sugetsu there, it will be a Carmine Core. There's a TP towards the top of mid, and Kayak's taking that. Sugetsu trying to hold on with the classic, and a flash stops Kayak getting any more. Martin in that corner that we've seen him work from before.
The spike has been completely stopped because of this mid duel.
And 40 seconds left for Fnatic to try and fight their way out of it. Is this going to pivot to an A play?
It almost has to. You can see the movement, but still, because the spike's in mid, they have to get past Pyro. He's the last line of defense for KC.
And Fnatic once again find themselves in a difficult position. But the patience is what always does them so well. On towards Pyro they go, and he's holding on. Alpha, spike down, and now Chronicle. He's only got a stinger, for God's sake. He's got no chance in hell of winning this round. So time. Find information, which they won't actually get through the drone of the Sova.
Another Fnatic 5 versus 4 situation. Trying to use the Viper smoke to just push out of the choke, but KC have it covered. Twice the numbers now. Still slow rolling forwards, but into the jaws of defeat. Alpha will walk away with 1.
And look at how far they're going.
Needs to be careful not to get caught here, and he does. Kayak the next to follow it up. Spike still in the hands of Crash. He's still entertaining the possibility of this duel. The B site is free, they don't know that yet. Kron's still working his way through. Oh! Big Alpha play in middle.
Still alive, and now it's protect the President to keep that pit up. Deny KC a way back in. And that orbital strike being offline is going to prove a big problem, a component that KC wishes that they had.
Owler spots the first player. They know the aggression of Kayak. Paranoia to take him off the line, but Fnatic still fighting this.
Yeah, but every single time Fnatic find themselves in a crossfire towards CT, and it's crashes up on Heaven with Kayak holding on from down low, trying to make their approach through the pit is not to be advised, but Kayak and his utility gets caught. Time now starting to get low, and this round going into the realms of Fnatic, into the realms of it being an 8-4 half, which is exactly what is needed if there's going to be any semblance of a comeback.
And he's nowhere near this, so it's all eyes on the B side.
Yeah, albeit respecting the push coming through, but not respecting Sadat as he finds the entry pit.
Who's the one furthest forwards? Yeah. The rest of KC now flooding, getting themselves on site, but looking for a way out, an option.
Oh.
Set up this post plant.
I thought for a minute the spike was heading here as well, but instead, no, it's just Martin and Sugetsu. But listen, there's a contest on the Prince of Pistols. It seems to be Alfiera, and he'll win Fnatic it. In fact, a fair few through that horn that they're going back.
Right here.
Crashes on the line, is gonna take the next off those players. KC walking into trouble. Not much health left on the remaining forces that are now trying to recuperate towards B, and Kayak will drop. Still so much work to be done.
To try and get out of. Nah, no chance. KC, this bonus round is going Fnatic.
And now, through his lens, he looks to find more. Two from the pole, and in position to get a little more, perhaps, but 3 versus 3, no guns for KC, but a post plant on the cards.
Oh, but Crashy's not identified through the nightfall, and an opportunity to deny the spike and any chance of an upset in this round. Sugetsu Sheriff is the only resistance.
To make sure that they're in the best possible position for a retake as they sit a man down. That's the equalizer. Pyrol taken off his feet. Crashies has his number. Poster now by his side with the flank closing in. KC will begin to search for that advantage again.
Yeah, but Sugetsu's all alone in main, and he's trying to run Scarpa towards the site, but he's playing dangerously.
Still dwindling around, but here is Kron. The onus put on him here. Quick trade. Headshot maybe over-delivering in that situation because it's kept it at 3-on-3. Elevated position Sugetsu. No more to be done from him in the round. And we're still at an even man count as it continues to draw forwards. Double stack of players for KC. Walking in with the Odin. Alpha at the back of the pack. It's Ave. Play made, and with 15 seconds, KC have to scale into the A site. The orbital strike to cut off most of the ground, but it's space that they can't themselves flood into. Spike needs to hit the deck, still not committed. Finally, it's a last gasp opportunity, which Crashies cannot deny. The kill's still in place for Fnatic, but KC have numbers.
That they do. Only one player better, and still Kron to come through, but he's flanking.
Alpha an elbow. Completely unchecked here. Vigilant round the corner, collecting the first. Quick trade. Sadak has his number, as do KC. He will set up the contact, the captain. It's Aves to swing, but it has to be through the molly. Disciplined, in position.
Of this link position, but the body's there. The Odin not hitting. Crashy's missing out, but Poster up close with the stinger, and players have been softened up, which Kayak will manipulate to his advantage. Spike on the floor,
2v1,
and Kayak chasing them down. He needs to be careful.
He has the spike and a full util belt.
Yeah, but 9 bullets in the chamber. That might be all he needs. And that's exactly it! Really dealt with the top of it. And Kayak, the player who clutched up last round, put under the cosh. Chronicles there, and he's been set up perfectly! It's multi-kill madness in this round, in this map! Look at Crashies.
Walking out, Kayak, first blood on the round, shut down quickly, Sugetsu on the swivel, Viper wall up, Kron caught with his hands in his pockets, 2 players peeking, still gets out beyond the half wall, and Crashies taking down Martin. It's a massacre in middle, yet again. Fnatic starting to now move in.
Another big if is if they can clear Kron in the corner. Utility there, and they're not going to do it. He's there. equal to the task. Brilliant from Chronicle and Boaster. And Sugetsu all alone on the site. A Sheriff to try and clear this out, but Fanatical there. Still an orbital strike to clear out the site. Althea just managing to escape, or so I thought. No, instead, they've opened it up clearly, and Kron has to try and make his way back through.
Multiple clutches for the man already.
Planted.
Could the most decorated player in VCT add another clutch to his collection? You see, still players low on the KC side though. One of them, Martin, melted through the wall. The hopes and dreams of this team might be slipping through their fingers. Sadak's trying to get off site. Full setup from elbow in post, but where is the spike planted in all of this? Is there safety? A sanctuary perhaps for KC? Something to sit on? Could they take it to OT? Or a Fnatic going to hold the line all the way through? Crashy seems to think so! Boaster bold from the corner. Util sent out. Still Sadak trying to hold the line, but Boaster bests him captain on captain. Kayak the next. Fnatic 1 by 1. Making this attack work. And KC have been foiled. Their plans deleted. Alpha, one more. And now Martin has it all on his plate.
Against 4 as well. Kron in the corner, 2 players to try and swing off of him. This is everything that Fnatic want.
As soon as that reload is hit, Chronicle smells the blood in the water. Eyes bigger than his stomach perhaps. Martin will get away with another, but this attack round and how pivotal it could be for Fnatic is everything. As KC will have to go back and win another one of their own. There's simply not enough time on the clock to make it to receive it. Fight in main, double reveal. Avers looking to profit off it, but Kron at the double. He's held up his end of the bargain again.
And so is the rest of Fnatic. That spike looking very lonely walking through mid, and it's Sugetsu. If he goes a step too far, gets caught out, this round is totally unwinnable. Take a timing.
Chronicle has the jump up here, and as Sugetsu walks in, it's the spike fouled. Fnatic moving ever closer. Pyrol to pull them out of a bad position. And Chronicle yet to be cleared. 20 seconds or less, or we're going all the way to bind. Pyrol walking in. He's not going to find it with this one. So Fnatic will restore order, at least for the time being. The lower run continuing is stacked, and they have to force out a hookah hit.
Yeah, that they do. And there's also a Vez holding from CT. Boaster finds Pyro, and Martin now under fire. Everybody on B is gone. And Sadak has a long road to walk to the site that Fnatic are planting on.
Another Fnatic pistol round queued up, and with it being on the attack side as well. KC setting up for their defenses yet again. Fear that some of the same problems with Corrode may rear their ugly head. The only team in the league not to be running a Viper on bind, KC. And the stopping power seemingly not enough here already.
You can see Alpha getting ready for the flank. The Fnatic clears the lane to play him in, and the pistol round, well, in a bad spot, but so Fnatic in terms of time. They're patient as ever, and we'll get that spike down. Two players remain on the defense side, and Fnatic have an advantage, but that extra player only has a pistol.
Keeps things interesting. Lurk of Chronicle has been cut out, but Alpha's looking to interrupt this with his timing through lamps, so Sugetsu has a lot of space to clear.
Yeah, so, I mean, full sight, right? Where the players are sitting. They went in towards Showers, but that's where Boaster was, didn't find him. It gets worse and worse, because as the time ticks away, the value of utility should be better. Alpha activates and takes out
Soul Anchor in this situation. KC will struggle to get players over, but time is of the essence. Sadak can win this round all by himself if he hits the shots.
And well, he's hit the first and got a rifle in hand. Spike needs to go down safely and will do, but this is a big ultimate. He's actually not hit the player that he wanted to. Chronicle at least is able to trade out, and Kayak managed to be saved. That's a big one.
Release from the cocoon at the final seconds. KC still in this though.
Yeah, they are trying to force in towards him.
Crash is closing in.
Fnatic scaling up. There's players behind us. A little bit scary.
And Sugetsu has survived through the salvos.
Yeah, that he has, and he's went even further forward. Fnatic, well, he's still Kron alive and well, but it's only him. Remember that Viper's Pit that we spoke about? It is still there and available. Thinking about it.
First player spotted and expects a second to be close by. TP's away with this knowledge in mind. Pit still available, of course. A molly to slow down any retake attempts. You feel like he might just give this one a go with the ult even.
Think about it, but I think he wants just one more. He gets the opportunity, plenty of opportunity.
Still lurking.
Spike planted.
Still trying to keep KC interested on that A side of the map, but TP's back in. A Cosmic Divide has allowed Pyro an opportunity to find Alpha here. 3 players left on Fnatic, and where do they go? I mean, to invest the Viper's Pit, give themselves some semblance of a foundation in which to work. Poster supporting Kron here. The players of KC are starting to encircle, starting to collapse on down, and crashes down. First 2 players caught.
Hang on.
Martin low as well. Sugetsu on the spike. It's just a 1 versus 1 essentially, but Crashes wants to deny the spike plan instead of fight the player who's up in the
The defense put under scrutiny once more. Coming into this, Alves able to dissuade a little bit more in the lamps. As the spike is still yet to go down from Fnatic as KC begin to flood.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're beginning to flood, but it's just Martin looking for a different angle of approach. Dimensional Drift used, and he's actually went all the way to showers, so it's starting to become a problem. Fnatic don't have a lot of control on this site.
And it is completely
a good idea of how this round looks, and it's a straight execute into B.
It is net placed right in the forefront still. Fnatic not quite out. Sadak still holding it down. First of the kills picked up, and Poster recall of the smoke to wade his way out into the corner, and bests the captain on the opposite side. Sugetsu still doing his job, and KC backfilling this space with bodies. Pyro peeking out. A confident move to make, but one which has established that authority, given them complete site control with the spike. Stops the A push if it does make its way through. It is B though, there isn't enough time. Martin inside the smoke. The first of the kills, needs more though, and finds himself removed. Getsu looking for the gravity well to stop the plant, but it just about goes in. Crashes edge of the area.
And both KC players now together. There's no Dizzy, there is a wingman to clear close corners, but both players make their approach.
One of them dropping in from Hookah. Sugetsu without a star to use. Silent drop attempted. Kayak not yet hearing if it's all about timing. Peeks round, can't find the kill. Sugetsu punishes it, and it's all on Crashies. Finding form, finding his first. Wingman on the thing from the strat book. An A execution with Showers control this time.
Trying to get out. Utility good. And they can't find the kill! Sugetsu completely blind! Finds one even more through the smoke. Is Poster's Sheriff. And he's on
TP if it comes in. Early Steel Garden. Fine, plenty more time.
Yeah, think how long those primaries are going to be offline for.
Face your fear!
Nightfall to come in, Pyro's way. This to set KC up for a 7th. All focus on him as it stands, but Sugetsu's arrived to the scene. The knight in shining armor sprays down his first, but there is more to find. Chronicle supported by Crashy's other side of the wall. Sadak arriving with an ult of his own. Corners to be cleared, it's not quite gonna hit, and Crashies stepping out into the open. Saving base 4, Fnatic, Sugetsu in another clutch. Kron on the other side! 5 versus 3 situation. KC in prime position to get a 7th, to keep their advantage for the second half. But it's the B site execution again
30 seconds left
that we look towards.
If they can get these 2 players clean, Fnatic could find themselves in a 3 versus 3 post plan. Big if though.
Even bigger exchange about to happen. Poster first through the window. Sugetsu able to claim it as he has managed to find the opener.
Kayak looking to find something else, break off the weaker arm of the push, but they haven't found Sugetsu. The stun will get him though. Put the advantage towards Fnatic as Kron looks to post it home. Unless Martin come up with a clutch.
It's a must for Martin now. Has one TP, finds his first. Fade away, Martin! And the spike planted on the other side of the box.
Fake teleport.
Yeah, up against Crashes, but he's taking so much damage.
And still don't have full backside control though. Fnatic with a monopoly on this. And Kayak continuing to use his lurk, has dropped the fake out to potentially trigger the flank watch from the wall as well. Casey still setting up, still no spike plant.
Yeah, and this is going to be a problem because Fnatic are now waiting for Kayak to get into position, and finally he does so. Getting Sugetsu, spike down, and the bodies of Fnatic ready to brawl, ready to fight, ready to send this one home and make it a flawless.
Most are playing anti-flash, waiting for Alpha to take contact, and it can't fight. Spray!
And it goes their way.
Spike
The
down
spike
B.
though through the TP, and KC need to make their way back up B long to challenge this hold and get the spike back.
The spike is in the teleporter. I'm not sure if Fnatic have realised
30
this
seconds
entirely, but they have players in the right position. You look over towards A, yet to be routed out.
Portal closed.
Is ready for this.
KC's still taking her time.
But we were so concerned of Casey's post
30
plants. If they can
seconds
even get the spike down here,
Yeah.
it's going to be so difficult to convert.
Yeah, and well, Kayak's got the angles that he's been
Spike
looking
down
for.
A.
That spike down, and KC left scrambling. How do we even get this one into post? Oh, but they're trying to take it a step further through the smoke. Still utility being thrown at them, and still they can't get any semblance of control. Sadak caught out, the spam working, and Fnatic now on double digits. Confirmation.
Very well decide Casey's fate for the rest of this year.
Oh! And it's a collat to wipe them out. Kayak with the escape. And he knows that another player could be close in towards Hookah. In fact, it's 3. Alpha here to support,
30 seconds
and not a
left.
lot of time left.
And it's a thankless task, jumping out from Hookah into the open arms of Kayak again.
But the utility, it's not even going to buy them enough space. His poster finds Pyro, Alpha finds Martin, and Fnatic find 11. They've got everything that they need.
10 seconds
Sugetsu's
left.
trying to even just get away with a right.
This round as it stands, those conversations of consistency to be brought back up again because Fnatic ever consistent on their defensive holds.
remaining.
The spike has managed to break into the site through the hands of Sugetsu. He must deal them some kind of support here, but backed all the way out. Let's have some space to play with, but the wall forces him to fight in front.
Oh, and he's stunned as well. That should be it. His poster is the man to hold the deep.
They have the shower control again. KC need an outlet, need something in their last opportunity. Kron again, giving them nightmares consistently, plaguing them from getting to Paris, but KC responding, and there you go.
In. Kayak lies in wait. His operator to hit, and the spike down. Oh no! It's all falling apart! Wingman denied! And time getting so low that KC need to somehow find a way to win out, but no!
No plan!
There's no way!
Denied!
Not like this!
And that's how it ends, with complete chaos.